Ahoy, hoy, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are talking May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars weekend here in Orlando, Star Wars weekend around the world. But we wanted to fondly remember the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. We figured do something different for May the 4th, because I know if you go to the parks, there's new Stormtrooper helmets, there's tons of Star Wars food. There is so much to do on Star Wars weekend. Hey, got 5 minutes? Welcome to the Disney Download 5 and 5 at 5. Our fast-paced and informative overview is aimed at Disney fans who do not have a ton of time to spend watching long-form videos. Hey, iCanRobot, can we talk, buddy?
You don't need words.
No?
Just bring it home.
Oh, we get to hug?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nobody needs words around here. And now
Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser closed down. Quite unfortunate. But hey, it's May the 4th, and we want to discuss Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. We never did a video about it. We did happen to go on a preview of it, and then we got to, for somebody else, not for us personally, but we worked it for somebody else. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that to begin with. But we ended up going back on it on January 19th of 2023. Had an amazing time on it. The now closed and shuttered Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser was a way to live your own Star Wars story. Let's get into the real deal. It cost $4,800 for two people to basically do this, and went upwards of around $6,500. That put a lot of sticker shock value for a lot of people. So a lot of people had a lot of problems with this. Also, one of the other problems was media had no real way of describing what this experience was. Without actually doing it and without actually being a Star Wars fan, how do you sell this experience to non-Star Wars people who you want to spend $6,500 for? For those who did do it, though, like me, they're going to walk off of this saying it was one of the greatest experiences of their lives. So some of the great things that we got to experience, first off, when you first walk on Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, you're taken up and you're basically on a ship that goes to the Halcyon. The Halcyon is the actual Chandrilla star line that you are flying on. The name of the ship was the Halcyon. So if I pronounce it, call it the Halcyon, you understand instead of Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. That's a whole bunch. But some of the things that we absolutely loved about this was the dinner shows, the onboard entertainment, the mysteries that were surrounding it, the storylines, the bars. The Starcruiser bar was fabulous. Like we spent 2 nights in there just shutting the place down. I can't even explain how much time we spent in there. All the food was included. The only thing that was not included was the actual adult beverages. You could get blue and green milk for free all day long. There was some great things about it. The storylines were great. Seeing the lightsabers were great. The interaction on the ship was amazing. You could go into the engine room compartment, and from the moment you blasted off till the moment you landed, there was something always going on. You could see out into space. You could see out there. You could take on the First Order. We know the Resistance activity on board your vessel, the Halcyon starship. Tell us what you know now. You have a choice to make. Do you obey the First Order, prove your loyalty to the Resistance, or something different altogether? One thing's for sure, the decisions you make and the actions you take will make this your own personal Star Wars story. The rooms were fabulous. I don't have any images of the rooms in here because I wanted to talk about so much else, because there is a lot to talk about. This may end up being a little over 5 minutes, by the way, so my apologies for the 5 and 5 at 5, and it's like 7. The Chandrilla Star line, again, was the cruise line that you were taking, but other things that you could do. Train with lightsabers, play sabacc electronically. You could defend the Halcyon Starcruiser from attack, or just sit back and relax and enjoy this experience. That was one of the wonderful things about this was if you wanted to be involved, if you wanted to cosplay, if you wanted to role play, 100% you could actually do that. If you did not want to, you could just sit back and relax and enjoy the stay on there, watching everybody else kind of go through storylines or interacting with characters. There was a lot of technology on board, and there was a lot of different things that you could do to interact with on the ship your whole time. Now, I know half a day was spent going down to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge over at Hollywood Studios. And if you timed it right, you could actually end up with like getting lunch there and then coming back and having lunch on board. It was kind of cool that you could do breakfast, lunch. It was like second breakfast. Anyway, some of the other major things that you could do is you could actually use the Force. If you're a Star Wars fan, these were all things that you wanted to do since you were a child. And that's why this place was so important to people like me, was we grew up playing with the Millennium Falcon in the front lawn in the grass when we were like 7 years old, acting like we're Han and Chewie. At one point, and I'm going to tell a quick story here, was we were coming out of the brig or the prison, and it's just me and my group and my son, and we turn and there's Chewbacca like beckoning us in by himself. It's like, oh, that's my horrible Wookiee impersonation, but beckoned us into this room, and we went into the engine compartment and we tried to save the ship from the First Order. And it was just us and Chewbacca. Imagine just hanging out with just Chewbacca doing this. Anyway, it was such a wonderful experience. I wanted to show you guys a bunch of images and a bunch of video from this past trip that we did. We miss it greatly. It is May the 4th weekend. It is Star Wars Celebration. What a wonderful time of year. Go to Hollywood Studios, enjoy the story, live your Star Wars story up. We hope that Disney brings something like this back, because this was rather important to us, and we hope we get a storyline like this. We just hope it's more accepted to people out there in the universe who may not have understood what this is. I hope Disney learns from, I don't want to call it a mistake, because to me, it was not a mistake. I hope Disney learns how to implement this more for the masses, because people went bonko crazy talking about this without ever understanding what the real experience is. And again, the real experience was for people who grew up with Star Wars, who wanted to role play, who played Dungeons and Dragons, who did all those things like that and knew how to suspend the real world for a little bit. And for those who just wanted to be in space and playing with Luke and Leia. Instead, we got Rey, we got lightsaber battles. Like when Rey pulls out a real lightsaber and you're like, wow, your mind is blown. Again, happy May the 4th. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Enjoy the celebration. I'm going to see The Phantom Menace. It's the 20th anniversary. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, especially if you made it this far. Congratulations, you made it to the end. Thank you from all of us here at FantasylandNews.com. We appreciate it. You can find us at FantasylandNews.com or TheFanaticsBlog.com for all your latest in Disney parks news and Walt Disney Company entertainment news. Please like, subscribe, share this out, all the normal things you have to say. And again, go to Fantasyland News on Instagram. Please go to our Facebook page. I know we're old people. Facebook page, hit subscribe. Again, that's Fantasyland News on Facebook and Instagram. And we hope you have a magical day.